When it comes to investing and dealing with any significant sums of money, education is paramount. If you don't know for sure what you're doing when it comes to investments, you could end up losing a lot of money. And with margin trading and other lending accounts, you could end up losing more money than you actually have. So, financial understanding, education, and responsibility is very, very important. And because of that, tons and tons of trading platforms and banks offer all these free and super useful resources for managing your money. This is an example of Ally Bank's investment documentation. It's pretty useful and easy to read for beginners. The market can be a scary place, and there are a lot of people out there who want to take advantage of those who are inexperienced with it. When I started my YouTube channel, I did not expect the amount of spam comments to be this high. There are tons and tons and tons of these comments out on my videos that I make sure to clear and remove. And generally, I don't like to delete comments. I'm very much pro free speech, and as you can see in most of my videos, even if people are disagreeing with me, I have back and forths with them, and I keep their comments, even if sometimes they're a bit rude. But stuff like this, outright scams, I just delete immediately, and a lot of them show up. The typical structure of one of these is simply something like someone has a generic first, last name, some photo probably taken from someone else's profile, and they start off with something that sounds reasonable, discussing recent events, bringing up all sorts of crap, and then they start talking about Mr. or Dr. blank blank blank. A key point to these comments is that they're incredibly inorganic. This might not have anything to do with the current video, and just randomly bringing up some registered investment company is just ridiculous. And a key point is that they never actually point to any specific website or registered group or LLC, anything like that. It's always directing you to someone's email, WhatsApp, or Telegram group. And I can look at when comments are posted, how they pop up. With these sorts of comments, you get all this bull crap, and you get this guy talking about this random, completely unrelated investment guru. And then he has multiple replies of people seemingly agreeing with him. I get accurate view counts on my video, and when a video has something like 15 views, but there are 10 comments all talking about the same person, you know it's clearly suspect, you know it's clearly fraudulent. There wasn't one person who organically started talking about this individual, which is completely unrelated to the video, and then 5-10 other people replying to them immediately with stuff that's clearly copy-pasted, talking about, oh, how great Austin or Patrick or whoever is. They go around, they give each other thumbs up, and they try to make it seem like there's a consensus of all these people out there who are super happy with this individual. But that's a complete and utter lie. And while I do see some of these comments on investment videos, especially when talking about less known stocks, it seems they're way more common on anything discussing crypto. Cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin, all of that. That gets way more spam comments. Again, here's another example. Someone putting up a spam comment, immediately getting 13 replies, 23 upvotes. Like over 90% of users who watched the video engaged with this singular, random, unrelated comment. I can tell you just from dealing with YouTube metrics and having friends with much larger YouTube channels, that just doesn't happen. It's all completely fabricated. And again, these people aren't pointing you to any sort of company or anything. They're pointing you to very specific internet contacts that can be anonymous. A common one is WhatsApp. They give some WhatsApp number and a Telegram group. Again, it's the same format. Stolen photo, first, last name. They try to make it seem like a real person, but this is most likely a bot or someone being paid an extremely small amount of money to post this garbage. Some are even more basic, but again, a similar thing, WhatsApp, and it looks like they sometimes try to space things out because I'm sure a lot of content creators have started censoring or dealing with any post that mentions WhatsApp or Telegram numbers. And they all revolve around massive gains or passive income, get-rich-quick schemes, basically. Again, that first, last name, but if you go to this channel, they don't have any likes, favorites, publicity. It's a bot. It's a shell account. It's not a real person. Again, random account, first, last name. There are not a lot of people who put their first and last name on YouTube accounts. A lot of them are just jokes or silly memes. And they make up some ridiculous story about how they were racing their mom to see who could get more crypto, and how she cheated because she found a group of professional hackers or players in Telegram. Again, they're trying to change the words of Telegram and WhatsApp because they know people are specifically looking for those and filtering those out because they're all scams. Looks like this bot or person didn't even finish their copy-paste correctly. And many times it's not just shell accounts, it's people trying to impersonate famous accounts. A little while back, I commented on one of Graham Stephan's videos that I really liked. I was joking around because he was giving some realistic advice on, hey, stocks don't always go up. And he replied, and so did his alternate channel. But I got multiple notifications immediately. Looking at my notifications, there's Graham's actual reply, and then there's Graham replying with a Telegram number. And then Graham saying, I will recommend you to my account manager on WhatsApp to make huge profits in Bitcoin/the stock market. Now, only one of these was the real Graham. The other two got removed immediately. It looks like Graham Stephan really does a fantastic job with removing these scam and fake comments, which is great. He has tons and tons of viewers, and he's very influential, especially on people new to the market, and I'm really happy that he does such a fantastic job of removing these scammers from his channel. But there are a lot of people like that who are just copying his picture, copying his name, and trying to pass themselves off as this is the real Graham. And in the notification bar, you might not see that this person isn't verified, it's not his real channel, and you might just instinctively open your notifications and go to this dude's scam WhatsApp number, thinking that it's a Bitcoin stock market consultant, which Graham would never advertise like that in the comments. Also, it's important to keep in mind that even if something comes from an actual legitimate account, people can always be hacked. A recent example is that huge Twitter Bitcoin account hack, where hackers were able to tweet out things from various verified accounts on Twitter. So people like Elon Musk and Barack Obama were tweeting about sending Bitcoin to this Bitcoin address, and then he would send back double to your address, which is an obvious scam. Don't send money to anyone, even if it's a verified account. Unless you're having an actual transaction, this is ridiculous. They're not going to give you back free Bitcoin or money. So just be aware, legitimate accounts can be hacked and post false information. And like I said before, this is way more prevalent on Bitcoin and crypto. With my crypto video, almost immediately, tons and tons of these comments. The same thing, first name, last name, probably some stolen profile picture, and then a bot. This one was kind of interesting because they were advertising hackers that could hack Bitcoin for you. That's just, that strikes me as ridiculous. And crypto especially has tons and tons of these scammers, mainly because it can be used anonymously. It's not like regular currencies, which can be traced a lot easier and have governments backing them that try to deal with people like this. With cryptocurrencies, I'm not saying they're a bad technology. I think Bitcoin and cryptos in general are a stunning and fantastic technology, but because they can be used anonymously and there's no huge regulatory authority that has authority over all of Bitcoin, that means that it's used by a lot of dirtbags, a lot of criminals and other nasty people using it for illicit purposes, which makes it a prime target for theft. Because if your Bitcoin gets stolen, there's not really anything you can do about it. And this is just something I see so much. I have a million of these. I don't save them all, but there's tons and tons. And even as a small YouTube channel, I have to cull these constantly. All of these ridiculous groups constantly mentioning fake telegrams with some ridiculous generic name on an anonymous app for cryptocurrency. So the main reason I'm making this video, and I'm probably going to have tons of these comments in the video, these exact same scammers with the exact same format, talking about how you can get rich with Bitcoin, or some stock investment guy who isn't actually giving away his name or company or anything. You have to contact him via Telegram or Gmail. The reason I'm saying this is because there's a lot of new people out there. There's a lot of people who are susceptible to this sort of thing if they're not familiar with the market. And again, this happens on all financial videos, including Graham Stephan's videos. He does a really great job of removing them, but it's important to understand that these scammers are posting constantly. And If it's a small YouTube channel like mine, I just check my comments occasionally. My primary job isn't YouTube, it's just something I do for fun. So sometimes these comments stay up there for a little while, and I'm sorry about that, but it's something I want you to be aware of. A lot of these scammers are like this, and this is the format they follow. And again, just because you see a bunch of replies and a bunch of thumbs up doesn't mean it's a legitimate comment. These are bots that know something looks more legitimate if they have a bunch of thumbs up and replies agreeing with them. I mean, I think they really overdo it because they make it out so like 90% of the video viewership is talking about this exact same person and how much they love them and how they made them so much money and they made them rich. Dr. Such and such. It's absurd. It's clearly fake. And a lot of them try to start off as legitimate seeming comments, They just talk about financial responsibility and other stuff, and some have gotten fancy to the point that they try to make it seem like it's an organic conversation, right? They don't just toss a Telegram or WhatsApp number in there. They try to do something like, "You're right, thanks for introducing me to blank." And then they want you to reply asking who it is, so they have an excuse to post the contact information. But again, it's a scam. They're all within a couple minutes of each other, all fake accounts with no activity, all following the same format of first name, last name, stolen photo. If you actually want to learn about investments, I would highly recommend all the free investment learning courses and content out there by the large trading platforms. Fidelity has a fantastic learning center. And in addition to that, Fidelity has live courses that you can watch and interact with the teacher. If you're a Fidelity member, you can sign up for this free of charge. And they talk about the presenters and their background, things like that. You can ask them questions. They also have huge documentations about any trading strategy you're curious about. And this is true of basically all the big trading platforms. TD Ameritrade is really good in this regard. They actually have a lot of free courses they offer. My friend has taken tons, and he's been very happy with them. And they also have these huge documentations about different options plays, stock trades, all sorts of different strategies you can employ. It's all free, it's all open, and it's all from a reputable company. Vanguard is another great option. They have many of these. Now, I'm not saying or trying to imply that there are no legitimate small educators when it comes to investment. But these people posting in YouTube comments with topics completely unrelated to the video using these anonymous apps, they're straight scammers. And even if they were to offer any legitimate advice, you have to realize just how scummy that is. They're lying to you and pretending to be legitimate to lure you in. That's not someone you can trust. They don't even have the dignity to just buy an ad like a normal person. And it's just foolish and ridiculous when there are large, legitimate companies out there that have tons and tons of this information out there. Also, I don't want to bash on Telegram or WhatsApp. They're just communication apps that can host servers and other groups, kind of like Discord. And because they can be used anonymously, scammers want to get you one-on-one. They want to get your money. They want to talk to you in this environment where they can just run away without any consequence because they made a fake account with a VPN or fake phone number. So I'm not saying those apps are bad or anything, but they're definitely used by scammers a lot. And again, some of those were using just email too. So just be aware out there, be knowledgeable, and please don't fall for these scammers and bot posts. They're just trying to rip you off and separate you from your money. Invest responsibly and be incredibly skeptical of anyone claiming they can make you rich overnight. If you want to jump into the stock market and get started trading, Webull is a fantastic brokerage option. If you sign up using the referral link in the description below, you'll receive 4 free stocks. 2 of them will be valued between $2.50 to $250. And the other 2, as part of the deposit bonus, will be valued between $800 and $1,600. That's $2,100 to $3,700 just for signing up. Again, the link is in the description below, and happy trading.